What's up guys, it's Jamey. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be unboxing, getting a first look at a few new iPhone 12 cases from Rimowa. If you aren't familiar with Rimowa, they are typically known for their suitcases. They make high-end, the shiny aluminum suitcases, and you've probably seen they've gotten a lot of popularity over the past few years just because they started doing collabs with companies like Off-White, Supreme, Montclair. I actually have one of their suitcases in the aluminum matte black color. I actually did a review on that if you want to check that video out as well. But I have been using my tried and true, for the most part, the leather Apple case for my iPhone 12 Pro. I have this in the Baltic Blue, and this is one I've been using for the most part since I've had my iPhone 12 Pro, and I don't really have any issues with this case. It's just that it's a little basic, it's a little kind of standard issue, and I wanted to try something a little bit different, maybe something that's a little bit not 100% on the radar, and because I am familiar with Rimowa, I saw that they had these cases, so I thought I'd give them a shot. So what I ended up picking up was, I went with 3 of their cases. So they have a few different options. So they have the case available in a polycarbonate material, which is like a shock-proof plastic, and they also have one in their classic shiny silver aluminum. So I ended up getting the aluminum case that retails for $115 US, and then I ended up getting 2 of the polycarbonate cases. The polycarbonate case comes in a matte black, a green, a pinkish hue, and they have like a silver, like iridescent color. And I thought that the green and the matte black were more of like my style. So I wanted to compare those color options versus the aluminum. I'm kind of intrigued with the aluminum because I do have the silver iPhone 12 Pro. I thought that an lightweight aluminum case would also look good, as well as give some pretty interesting protection as well. So I'm going to unbox each of these for you, give a detailed look of the differences in between the aluminum as well as that of the polycarbonate, look at the different colors, and really get into the details because I haven't seen many videos on these. I haven't seen them myself, so I'm very excited to check them out. I hope that they live up to the higher price point. When you're watching today's video, if you could, just go ahead and give it a quick like. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so as well. I come out with videos like this on a weekly basis, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. I appreciate all the support. Now let's get into it. So as I had mentioned, I picked up 2 of the polycarbonate cases, the matte black and the green, as well as the aluminum case. So here's a look at the packaging on the outside. Pretty minimal. Nothing super exciting about these. Let's pop this off. I don't know which color this is, we'll see. So this is clearly the green color. Packaging is pretty basic. All it comes with is this instructions for use in cleaning and caring. Here is a look of the case itself in the green color. It feels pretty good in hand. It feels pretty sturdy. You kind of have a combination of more of a gloss back with a matte finish on the sides. Continue to have matte on the inside as well with a little hit of Rimowa, and then also says made in China. One difference is it's just plastic. There is no like felt or suede material. Right off the bat, one of the concerns that I have is how the buttons feel. These rocker buttons, they are the same material as the side. They are plastic, which is a little bit different than what you're going to get with like the leather case. The leather case from Apple, you have like the aluminum buttons on the side. It's a nice looking case, a little basic. I want to see how it feels in hand, like I want to see how it connects to the phone itself. But right off the bat, I mean, it's $90. I don't know if it feels like a $90 case to me. So here we have my silver iPhone 12 Pro with the green Rimowa polycarbonate case. It feels solid. It has like a very nice heft to it. It definitely feels much more solid than like the silicone case you get from Apple, but it's not, I don't know, Rita, I think the color is awesome. I like the grooves on the back. I like the small Rimowa logo here, but I don't know if I can say that that's a $90 case. I think the color on this case is really nice. Like I would have wished, I know that Apple has come out with a green silicone case, but I do wish they had something like this kind of moss green color in the silicone or even in the leather. I think it would look really, really nice. So here we have the matte black and the polycarbonate. I like the matte aspect of this better than the gloss. Like the gloss on the green case, you can tell is going to show much more fingerprints. This is just like super, super stealthy. And you can't deny like the grooves that they have on this gives it just like a little touch of elegance. If you remove these, I think it just looks like this standard basic case. But adding this element here, I think just that's the whole part that brings it over the edge. That's the iconic look of Rimowa right there. So here you can see my iPhone 12 Pro in the matte black polycarbonate case from Rimowa. It has a very stealth elegance to it. I think it looks really, really nice on the back. One thing that I am noticing about this case on the front is if you look on the sides here, I don't know if it shows it on camera, but you can see a little bit of the bevel, the stainless steel sides poking out here, but then as you get to the corners, it seems as if the case is a little bit tighter and it covers it. So you get this weird effect where just on the middle portion here, you can ever so slightly see the stainless steel sides poke out, but then around the edges, they're fully covered. This is just a bad, I don't know if it's their tolerances and their construction is off or what have you, but that I don't want to see that on a $90 case. So now we have the last case. This is the aluminum. Now for reference, this case is $115 versus the $90 for the polycarbonate. I mean, right off the bat, that has a great look to it. I think it's going to pair really well with the silver. So the aluminum component is just this back here. Everything else is plastic. So all the sides are all the plastic. It's all the same material that is found, it seems like, in the other cases. It's just this portion right here is aluminum, and it feels really nice. It's definitely lightweight. It has like an interesting feeling for an iPhone case. I think it looks good. Is it worth $115? That is the question. I'm not really sure, but that is a nice looking case. It's definitely going to pair well with the silver. So here's my iPhone 12 in the aluminum case. As I expected, this looks amazing. I also even find that on the front, it seems like it has much more coverage. I'm not seeing any of the silver sides popping through. It seems pretty uniform all the way across. I do wish that they took some of the aluminum, maybe put it on the buttons, because there's no real difference in the polycarbonate cases other than just this small portion that is aluminum. So here's a look of the three cases side by side, the green, matte black, and the aluminum. One thing I did notice is that these are a little bit thicker than what you're going to find with just the normal Apple leather cases. It's not super noticeable, but it is enough to actually notice a difference that these cases are thicker than the Apple leather cases. I think that you're going to find that it's probably going to have a little bit more in terms of overall protection, but there's going to be, it's also you have to account for that thickness. I do find them to be heavier as well. Out of all of them, I think that I do like the matte black probably the most. I think that from a price point difference going up to $115 on the aluminum, you're just not getting that much of a difference. Like the aluminum back here, it is nice, but I don't like the fact that everything else for the most part is exactly the same. I think another big misstep on these cases is just when you look at the inside, to me, it kind of seems and feels a little cheap on the inside, that there is no, soft touch felt material on the inside, as well as when you take a look at the buttons themselves, they're just, very flimsy, cheap plastic. So I must say, taking a look at each of these cases, I am a little underwhelmed. And it is difficult to say, being such a big fan of Rimowa and the brand and the suitcase, the product that I do have of theirs. The cases, they just don't really live up to that same craftsmanship and quality. I think the two biggest missteps for me are just, like I mentioned before, this interior component. It just feels unfinished, especially like when you compare it to your iPhone case. Like this is I don't know what these go for now. Maybe the leather case is $59 or so. And this is much better finished on the inside. Soft touch material. You can actually use MagSafe components with this. With the Rimowa cases, I don't really use mini MagSafe. I don't really use any MagSafe accessories. But you can't use it at all with the Rimowa cases. And then also not having soft touch materials, it just, I don't know, it kind of cheapens it up a little bit. The other big misstep for me is just the buttons on the side. They're just a cheap plastic material. It's the same material like throughout on the entire side of that. When you compare it to the Apple leather case, you have these nice aluminum buttons on the inside. They give a little bit of contrast, but they also provide a much more like high-end feel. Like it's when you compare it to like the silicone case, they have like the rubber buttons. If I'm spending a little bit more money, okay, yes, throw the aluminum ones in there. The other thing that I found besides the material of the buttons themselves is just the feel. So when you put your phone in the case and you press these buttons, they don't really have a satisfying, like confident click. I think the reason why you don't have that click, the satisfying click that you get when just comparing it to the Apple leather case, it's just the way that the buttons are constructed. If you look on the inside of the case on any Apple case, the buttons aren't separate. It's almost built on like a rocker, whereas on this case, they're just little indentations. So you're pushing from the outside, you're just pressing like an indentation that's pushing in to push the button. Whereas on here, it's one like uniformed piece, so it's more of like a rocker button. And so I don't know if that's what the deal is, but the click when depressing the buttons with this case on is just not very satisfying at all. One thing that I will say is I do like the design. I think it is very classy. I think it's understated. I think it is elegant. And these things are rock solid. Like when you just pick these up, they are like high quality material. It's just the details. It just doesn't come together well in an overall package for me. And so to pay the price point that they're looking for, $90 for these, $115 for the aluminum, to me, I need to see more out of that case. I need to feel like, okay, this is $90. It costs a lot less than $90 to make it, but I feel like I'm getting $90 or $115 out of it. as of right now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be keeping any of these cases. You know, they don't seem to be really living up to that price point, but I do want to spend a little bit more time with them to just get a better feeling for them. I am curious to see what you guys think, so please comment below. But that's all I had for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.